All right, so this is a demo for our app, Section Insights. We're going to start by adding some dataset. So I'm just going to upload a pair.zip file with the ID sections. And when you add a dataset, you should see a put request being made. So I'm just going to add a few dataset here. For the purposes of our demo. And you should see that if we try to add a dataset with the same ID, it should reject. Yeah, and if you want to delete any dataset, you just go to the any dataset and just click this delete button on the right. And yeah, you should see a delete request being made. So now that we have the datasets, we can start querying. So I guess the first insight we're doing is average by department. And I'm just going to select a dataset. You should see there's a query being made right away. And this is just for the department. So we're fetching the departments we need. And I'm going to select a few departments. All right. So we're going to select the year afterwards. And Jessica, can you tell us what this graph is doing?
Yeah, sure. So the x-axis here are the departments that we select, and the y-axis shows the section average for the selected departments in the given year, which is 2015 in this case.
Yeah, and why would this graph be useful?
Yeah, it would be useful for students to evaluate the difficulty of the courses offered by each department and see how students in that department are doing.
For a particular year. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see there's a query request being made here for the average. So yeah, it's to fetch the data for the y-axis. And our next graph is somewhat similar. It's computing the average, but instead of a department, we're doing a year. So Jessica, can you just go over what this graph is doing as I put in this data?
Yeah, sure. So, um, you might want to show that when right after we select a department, there's a request being made to fetch the courses in
Oh
that
yeah.
particular department.
Well, yeah. So every time we go into a new page, it's going to fetch our set of departments. Uh, and after you choose a department, it's going to select the courses offered by the department. So yeah, just continue.
Okay, so the x-axis of this line graph shows the range of year that we have chosen, and the y-axis shows the average of all sections for the courses that we have chosen. So this would be useful for students to see how the difficulty of a course evolves over time.
Exactly. And our final insight here is, well, it's a bit incriminating against instructors, but Jessica, please go and explain while I put in the input data.
Yeah, sure. So here we could select a department and the instructors associated with that department. You can actually select multiple instructors. And yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Hansel to select the instructors.
Yeah, so once we've have our enough input, it's going to generate a graph. And what is this graph exactly?
Okay, so the bar graph shows the percentage of failing students per instructor. So for example, for Dave here has a 1.4% rate of failing students for his classes. And well, I just thought this would be useful for students to evaluate the performance of instructor and maybe use this data to help make their decisions on which Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Which class to avoid?
it's very useful for students, but it's a bit, I guess, heartbreaking for the instructors to see. Uh, yeah, but maybe they could take it as a constructive criticism and maybe improve their teaching if if they want. And yeah, so we could see here the course being made. This is just for the data for the graph, and that pretty much summarizes our app. Yeah, it's three insights and from data sets. So
And wait, you should probably show that our datasets persist after even after you refresh the web page.
oh yeah, sure. So the server, so the data set is being stored in the server, and every time you refresh, it's going to fetch from previous sessions. So you have to explicitly delete datasets for it to go away. But yeah, that's our app. Pretty interesting, especially the last insight. But thanks for watching. Yeah.